Okay. Clear.
Clear prop.
I bought this airplane in 1974. It was brand new from the factory. It came to Teterboro Airport on wheels with a seaplane prop. Seaplane prop is longer than a land prop, and the prop clearance was only about 2 inches from the ground. We took it down the road from Teterboro to the Little Ferry Seaplane Base, taxiing it with a police car escort, and we put the floats on at Little Ferry. Kept it there for several years, then I moved it over to this lake called Warwick Lake, Wickham Lake I think it's called, in the town of Warwick, which is right next to an airport called N72.
Run it down to the end of the lake, then bring her around. Head into the wind and take off. He appears to be on the step now. Coming around with a step turn. Coming into the wind, full power.
The buildings behind the airplane is a prison.
He's up.
We did a circle takeoff, and now we're going to lift off with one float and go down the runway. So there's no obstacles or trees. I could fly close to the ground and pick up some speed and then go on up in the air. Okay, Rich is flying. That little black rod sticking up is an antenna for a radio. I think it's the ham radio. It's pretty nice to get into a brand new seaplane. I sold it. I wish I hadn't, but I did, and I tried to get it back. But the guy had dumped it in the water because he didn't tie it up. He tied it up to a loose dock, and the storm came and picked the dock and the airplane up, put it upside down in 3 feet of water. One wing was totaled. I thought about buying it back, but once you get to these electronic connectors wet, they're always a source of problems. So I didn't. Now again, I kind of wish I would have.
It's a little dark in
Too
here.
late.
It's hard to pick up with the bright sun and so forth.
This is Greenwood Lake. The village is at the north end. We're looking at north. West Milford at the south end. It's about 6 miles long, but a half a mile across. I had to land at night across this lake when the winds were really blowing and I couldn't get on the water. It was a little exciting. I managed to get on the water and step taxi out of the wind into a cove where I kept the airplane. I was chasing a forest fire or somebody setting fires, but that risk was pretty high and I didn't do any more night flying after that. At the north end is the mountain right in the center of the picture called Mount Peter. And I'm building a house, so I wanted to take a look and see what it looked like right next to the Appalachian Trail on the top of the mountain. There's a shot here, that's my neighbor right by the wing strut. And someplace in these trees I have a foundation that was laid down for me. Well, there it is. 28 by 28, I was going to go up to 2 or 3 stories. Being Rich is flying, he decided to fly over his house right there. It's a round house, and he's only about a quarter mile from me. That was a good neighbor. This is the top of Mount Peter. Greenwood Lake is off to your right. Now we're flying northwest towards Warwick Airport, N72. We're going to land on the lake. The wind was favoring a north landing. There's a prison to the south end of the lake, and we're not going to overfly that. We'll just do a bit of a circle to land on the lake. In this case, Rich is going to do the flying and do the landing.
Full flaps when you got the water made. Okay. Okay. I'm just talking. This is about a half-mile strip of water here. We have our landing. half flaps on. Doing about 80 knots, 80 miles an hour. Approach looks real good. When he's got it made, stay away from the prison a little bit. Go to your right. He's put on full flaps. He got the water made. Means that the engine equipment will make it all right. Open the window, but I can't do it now. Hang on for a minute here. Beautiful. Put some power on, stay on the step. Put some power on.
Okay, once on the water, we're staying on the step to get over to the little dock by the runway. If we taxi slow, it would take too darn long.
Into the dock.
So we'll do a step taxi up to the. Now this dock's only temporary. It's just a place to get out on. You can't tie the airplane to it because it's just basically sitting in the water.
Okay, kill the power here. And we'll taxi it slowly. Aim for the homemade dock up there. That, yeah, the plank in the water. Put it on your side. That plank there. Yeah, kill the tower someplace here.
Mags off. Master off.
Mags off, master off, right. Put it to the planks on your side so you can get out.
Okay.
Seatbelt off because you're going to have to do headsets off and all that good stuff. We're going to make it? You may have to get the paddle. All right, the paddle's right behind you anyway.
Paddle?
Right behind you on top, in the window.
I think I'm losing the battle.
Now the wind's got you? Well, see what happens.
Notice the
Just I focus
decals
it
on the
close,
door.
And then I focus it
I
far,
used
right?
the airplane for
Okay.
forest fire
Fine.
detection. Thus, state of New
Anytime.
Jersey gave me a jacket.
David,
and
you know
some
I've taught you
decals.
everything you know.
I flew the New York, New Jersey border area. And it's kind of surprising. There's a lot of woods north of Manhattan, about 50 miles. You wouldn't think you're that close to New York. So we chase smoke in the spring and sometimes
luck,
the
David.
fall. Usually the fall wouldn't, fire danger was down because the dampness stayed a long time. Surprisingly, in the springtime, on a very dry, windy day, I would average 4 to 6 fires per day.
Okay, David just put his water rudders down. He's started up. He's bringing his flaps back up.
This scene is from Mark Cook, a friend of mine. We flew in a seaplane here in Bemidji. I wanted Mark to note how tight the airplane could turn to the left compared to the one we used.
He's put in about 20 degree of flaps now. He's downwind, putting in full power to get her up on the step. Once he's on the step, he's going to reduce power, run it down to the end of the lake, then bring her around, head into the wind and take off.
10 miles south of the Warwick Airport is the Bear Fort Lookout Tower in New Jersey. So we do a little flyby if somebody's inside the cab. My co-pilot here is Conservation Officer Terry Shevlin, who by the time you see this video has been retired for some time. Terry was a natural pilot. He never went and got his private license, but every time he flew with me, I could relax completely.
Yeah, way dark. If I can turn around.
Me too. I don't have much tape.
Paddle out.
This thing recording sound, David?
Yeah, she should be.
Here we are in the main bush.
Well, if I start up now, there's not enough room to turn.
Nice paddle. Cakes, move me over.
Move you over, okay.
Come on. Quick. Close to the runway. Within about 30 or 40 feet of the runway.
30, 40 feet of the runway.
Yeah.
Well, if you are, you can...
Okay. How's that for a Quam landing?
The Cessna 172 is on Edo 2000s. I sold the floats and put on the Edo 2030 or 2130, or it's a bigger float, and it helped to get up on the step better and get off the water sooner. That was a big improvement.
Nothing. You don't do anything. Nice job, David. You want me to shut it now? Pet your dog.